say something about my mama. Your mama dead as your mama dead as go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. She dead. Pay respect. Stop playing with my mama. Playing like that. Ain't going like that. How y'all raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. I'm not going. So tell your dead mama dig her.
Come for her look. So Tina was just uplifting. It was a beautiful little post about her. 50's response was a picture of Miss Tina Knowles, kind of disfigured. It looks like bad plastic surgery, was obviously altered.
And we all know you lost the Rick Ross in that music side of the beef. And that's probably why you ducking that T.I. smoke. You don't want it with the cane. But what y'all think? Y'all think this deeper than rap? Or do you think Curtis is a puppet hired by a different shade of gray to tear his own people down? And it gotta come to an end at this point, man. Cause you throwing people in this shit that ain't got nothing to do with this shit over some music shit. Boy, you started off with music, boy.
For more than a decade, 50 Cent has carefully crafted and fiercely protected a reputation as hip-hop's most fearless and strategic internet antagonist. Long after his dominance on the charts with Get Rich or Die Tryin', he transitioned seamlessly into digital warfare, using Instagram as both shield and sword. He dismantled Ja Rule's relevance with relentless trolling, kept a years-long feud alive with Rick Ross, and openly mocked Floyd Mayweather Jr. in ways that blurred the line between humor and humiliation. Even deeply personal family matters involving his own son were aired publicly without visible hesitation. Through it all, Curtis Jackson appeared untouchable, calculated, emotionally detached, and always 10 steps ahead. For over 20 years, no opponent managed to force him into retreat, delete posts under pressure, or show even a flicker of vulnerability. That aura of invincibility became part of his brand. The conflict that would test that image began with what should have been a celebratory moment for hip-hop culture. A potential versus battle between 50 and T.I. T.I., widely regarded as one of Atlanta's foundational trap architects, publicly claimed that conversations about the battle had already taken place and that 50 initially seemed receptive. According to T.I., what was discussed privately did not match how 50 later framed the situation publicly. When 50 appeared to dismiss the idea and reportedly questioned T.Y.'s credibility, the disagreement shifted from business negotiations to personal pride. For T.I., it wasn't just about a stage matchup. It was about respect, public perception, and the integrity of a handshake agreement in an industry where reputation is currency. Rather than respond with a direct rebuttal to the claims, 50 did what has historically worked for him. He pivoted to mockery, however this time his approach took a sharp turn. Instead of addressing T.I. directly, he posted a manipulated and unflattering image of Tiny Harris, T.Y.'s wife, and a member of the R&B group Xscape. Tiny had not involved herself in the dispute publicly, nor had she made statements about the Versus situation. By targeting her appearance, 50 escalated the conflict beyond professional rivalry. The move instantly reframed the narrative. What had started as tension between two veteran rappers now became an issue of family disrespect. And in hip-hop culture, family is often considered off-limits. The backlash was swift and unusually intense. Social media users, commentators, and even some of 50's longtime supporters questioned whether he had crossed a moral boundary. The criticism wasn't rooted in lyrical warfare or competitive bravado. It was about dragging an uninvolved spouse into public ridicule. The broader entertainment world appeared to take notice, and solidarity messages circulated in support of Tiny. The tone of the discourse shifted from playful trolling to discussions about respect, accountability, and the consequences of weaponizing family members in public disputes. T.I. responded in the way many purists believe rap conflicts should be handled, through music. He released diss tracks that address 50's character, questioned aspects of his past, and framed the situation as a test of authenticity. The records were pointed and strategic, targeting 50's public persona and long-circulated rumors that have followed him throughout his career. But while T.I. maintained a veteran's approach rooted in lyrical confrontation, his son King Harris took a far more aggressive and unpredictable route. King entered the conflict with visible fury, releasing his own diss track and making it clear that his primary motivation was defending his mother's honor. However, he did not stop at music. King turned social media into a pressure campaign, resurfacing past allegations connected to the 50s history, including old claims involving Shaniqua Tompkins and long-debated controversies that had previously faded from mainstream conversation. Whether fully substantiated or not, the resurfacing of these claims in a new context amplified their impact. The strategy shifted the battlefield from opinion-based trolling to reputation-based exposure. The most explosive escalation came when King referenced 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who was tragically killed when 50 was just a child. Sabrina's death has long been acknowledged as a defining trauma in 50's life, something he has spoken about in interviews and reflected on in his personal storytelling. By invoking her memory publicly, King targeted a wound that predates fame, wealth, and industry status. The symbolism of wearing her image during diss rollouts intensified the controversy. At that point, the conflict ceased being entertainment for many observers. It became an example of how deeply personal pain can be weaponized in public feuds. What followed marked a rare shift in optics. 50 began deleting posts related to the situation, including the image of Tiny that had ignited the backlash. He shared a reflective message about provoking emotions and hinted, whether sarcastically or sincerely, that the situation had affected him. For a figure known for doubling down rather than stepping back, the deletions alone were significant. Debate erupted across platforms. Was this a strategic pause, a tactical recalibration, or the first genuine crack in the armor of hip-hop's most seasoned provocateur? Meanwhile, the Harris family maintained coordinated pressure. T.I. continued releasing music. King remained vocal. Even Damani Harris entered the conversation musically. The collective response created an unusual dynamic. Instead of facing a single opponent, 50 appeared to be confronting an entire family unit moving in sync. The volume and consistency of the pushback contrasted sharply with previous feuds, where 50 often controlled the tempo of escalation. In an unexpected development, King reportedly reached out privately to the 50's estranged eldest son, Marquise Jackson, attempting to separate him from the conflict. That move sparked divided reactions. Some interpreted it as maturity, an acknowledgement that Marquise had no direct role in the dispute. Others saw strategic calculation, recognizing the long-documented strain between 50 and his son. If Marquise were to publicly align against his father, the symbolic damage would extend beyond rap rivalry into deeply personal territory. Observers also noted the presence of outside personalities circling the drama, including controversial commentator Charleston White, who has previously clashed with T.I. The potential for new alliances added another layer of unpredictability. In an era where online disputes can quickly spill into real-world consequences, even indirect engagement carries weight. As conversations matured, many commentators stepped back to examine the broader implications. What began as a proposed music event spiraled into generational trauma being publicly dissected for clicks and engagement. Fans debated loyalty, authenticity, and respect, yet a recurring sentiment emerged. Why do audiences invest so deeply in conflicts that ultimately harm the very artists they claim to support? The uncomfortable reality is that no clear winner emerged. 50's brand of calculated trolling faced an unusually coordinated counterattack. The Harris family defended their own, but crossed lines that invited criticism as well. The spectacle generated headlines, reactions, and engagement, but at the cost of deeply personal subjects being dragged into the spotlight. As Jay-Z once stated, "Nobody wins when the family feuds." In this case, that sentiment feels less like a lyric and more like a cautionary conclusion. Two powerful families aired grievances in front of millions, and while the internet will eventually move on to the next trending conflict, the emotional residue of what was said about mothers, sons, and unresolved pain does not disappear as easily as a deleted post. Ebro Darden appeared genuinely puzzled by the escalating tension and urged 50 Cent to slow down rather than react impulsively. He suggested that the situation may not be as clear-cut as it seems online, emphasizing that social media often amplifies misunderstandings. Ebro pointed out that not everyone involved may even fully grasp what's unfolding, and he specifically questioned whether Tina, likely referencing Tina Knowles, was intentionally directing anything at 50 in the first place. According to Ebro, it's entirely possible that her post was misinterpreted or taken out of context, yet it sparked a wave of reactions as if it were a direct attack. His broader message was simple but important. In the age of instant outrage, people sometimes internalize content that wasn't meant for them and respond with unnecessary intensity. Instead of escalating things further, Ebro encouraged 50 to take a breath, step back from the noise, and avoid overanalyzing a situation that may not have been personal to begin with.
And I guess that's why, look, 50, you gotta relax, bro. Like, everybody's not all the way. I don't think Tina Knowles even knows what's going on. I don't know that she thinks that her post was somehow going at 50.
But he just wants to get at Hove. He wants to get at them. That's it.
Poetic Flacco added his perspective to the controversy, arguing that 50 Cent was fully aware of the impact his actions would have when he reposted an unflattering clip of Tameka Tiny Harris, the wife of T.I. According to Flacco, the repost was not accidental, impulsive, or misunderstood. It was calculated. He suggested that 50 intentionally used the clip as a form of retaliation, especially while repeatedly stating, "Keep my name out your mouth," signaling that the move was aimed at T.I. but delivered through a shot at his wife. In Flacco's view, this was classic 50 Cent strategy. When direct confrontation escalates, apply pressure in a way that stings personally. At the same time, Flacco made it clear that mocking Tiny ignores a major part of her legacy. He reminded viewers that Tiny, a member of the R&B group Xscape, was already an established star long before T.I. rose to mainstream prominence. When T.I. first met her, she wasn't simply a rapper's wife, she was a recognized artist with industry credibility and success of her own. Flacco emphasized that history matters, arguing that it weakens any attempt to frame Tiny as someone riding on her husband's fame. In his assessment, regardless of the back and forth between 50 and T.I., Tiny's independent accomplishments make it difficult to seriously clown T.I. over his wife, because her status was solidified long before the current drama ever began.
50 reposted T.I.'s wife. Now, I had to hide the BBL because the whole ass is out, but it didn't look flattering. It didn't look good at all. And so 50 Cent knew what he was doing, right? He was posting this to clown T.I.'s wife. So 50 says, I keep saying keep my name out your mouth, okay? So 50 is telling T.I., okay, you keep mentioning me, I'm gonna go after your wife. I'm gonna go after Tiny. Now listen, man, the reason why I feel like nobody can really clown T.I. about Tiny was A, when T.I. met Tiny, Tiny was a superstar. T.I. was just a hood dude.
Joe Biden described 50 Cent as someone who tends to view relationships in very black and white terms. According to that characterization, if 50 finds himself at odds with someone, he doesn't simply disagree or keep a cautious distance, he cuts them off completely. There's no middle ground, no gradual cooling off period. Once he decides that a line has been crossed, he appears to shut the door for good. That rigid approach to loyalty and conflict has been a defining part of his public persona for years. Observers point out that this mindset was visible as far back as the mid-2000s during his highly publicized tension with T.I. At the time, 50 was openly critical of T.I. amid his legal troubles, using interviews and public commentary to question credibility and street standing. That era showcased how firmly 50 plants his flag once he forms an opinion. Rather than softening his stance or revisiting it later, he doubled down and maintained his position, reinforcing the idea that, in his world, alliances and fallouts are absolute. Even in more recent interviews, when asked about old rivalries or opportunities to reconcile, 50 has remained consistent. He typically avoids reopening past disputes and makes it clear he has no interest in reliving old drama. His tone often suggests a simple philosophy: once it's over, it's over. And he prefers to disengage entirely rather than revisit unresolved tension. In short, the pattern reflects a personality that values decisive boundaries, even if that means permanently shutting people out with a firm, unspoken message of, "Don't bother me." King Harris has made it clear that he has no intention of staying quiet. The son of T.I. publicly fired back at 50 Cent after the rap mogul took shots at his mother, Tameka "Tiny" Harris. For King, the situation crossed a line the moment his mom was brought into the conversation. He openly expressed his frustration, calling out 50 for dragging her into a dispute that originally stemmed from industry tension between two veteran artists. In his response, King made it clear that defending his family was not optional. It was personal. What began as competitive back and forth tied to music and public commentary has now evolved into something much deeper. With King stepping into the spotlight, the conflict has shifted from a clash between established rap figures to a generational standoff. His involvement has intensified the energy surrounding the feud, turning what once looked like industry banter into a deeply personal confrontation. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss an update. We bring you the latest news, reactions, and exclusive breakdowns on trending stories just like this. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, leave a like if you enjoyed the content, and share this video with others who want to stay informed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Say something about my mama. Your mama dead as Your mama dead as Go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. She dead. Pay respect. Stop playing with my mama. Playing like that. Ain't going like that. How y'all raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. I'm not going. So tell your dead mama dig her.